Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. Step right up for this week's thrills and spills on the baseball diamond. Presenting acrobatic feats of skill and daring. Long-distance throws of pinpoint precision. Bronx Bomber, clouts of clutch power. Sudden twists of fortune in the National League East. Astounding exploits by Jim Rice and company. And ageless wonders from giant Willie McCovey. Coming up next on This Week in Baseball. Brought to you by Gillette. When it comes to personal grooming, most people come to Gillette, makers of the Twin Blade Track 2. Track 2 users say no single blade will do.
Gillette Track 2, please.
Sold out again. Say, you look like a double-edged man to me. Daring, unafraid.
No, the Gillette Track 2 gives me a more comfortable shave.
Silly me. These other twin blades will fit your Track 2 handle.
Yeah, but they're not Gillette Track 2.
Yeah, but...
Sorry.
To guys who use a twin blade Gillette Track 2, no other blade will do.
Gillette Track 2, please.
The bullpen. How did it get its name? It may have come from the bull and the tobacco signs which were on the outfield fences in the 1900s. Relief pitchers warmed up behind those signs, so the area became known as the bullpen. Today, it's the home of relief aces. In the American League, Boston's Bill Campbell. And in the National League, San Diego's Raleigh Fingers. Be sure to see them this summer as they compete for the Roll-Age Relief Man Awards, given annually to the best in the bullpen.
In the American League East, capacity crowds keep buzzing in Boston's Fenway Park. Detroit's Tigers came to Fenway hoping to do some buzzing of their own, but it was all Red Sox. Fielder Dwight Evans has really been stirring up the Fenway fans. In the month of May, Evans exploded at the plate, slamming 11 homers in 26 games. He missed most of last season, but with his return, the Sox enjoyed their best May record since the pennant-winning year of 1946. Other Red Sox, like pitcher Bill Lee, have come back to help too. He helped put a lot of ground between Detroit and Boston with his 7th win in 8 decisions. And so did another Fenway favorite, Senor Luis Tiant. Healthy again, El Tiante baffled the Tigers with his famed and ancient bag of tricks. With With the ageless master back in form, what more could the Sox desire? Well, anyone can use a little luck. With Boston down a run, 2 outs, a man on third, Fred Lynn at bat. The umpire motioned foul, then called Lynn safe, and the tying run scored. Tiger manager Ralph Howick had already suffered enough. In 1 week, his team had fallen from first place to third, 7 games behind Boston. So who can blame a guy for seeking a little sympathy? But the major wasn't about to get it from the umpires or the Red Sox. And if Jim Rice had sympathy for pitchers, he'd be out of work. 10th inning, scored tied, going, it's gone. And that beat the Tigers. Gave Rice 18 homers for the year, 50 runs batted in. It put the Boston Sluggers slightly ahead of the home run pace of Babe Ruth and Roger Maris. Kept the Red Sox slightly ahead of the equally hot pace of their main adversary, the New York Yankees, who also have been packing their park and hitting the groove in May. Maybe not all the Yankees are hitting, but Chris Chambliss sure is. With their #1 first baseman leading the team in RBIs and batting well over 300, the Yankees have been gaining ground. But their backup first baseman, Jim Spencer, has also made waves. With reliever Tom Murphy pitching, pinch hitter Spencer delivers. There it goes, deep to right, and it's gone. And that home run was especially sweet because the bases were loaded, and New York beat Toronto 4-3. One of Spencer's specialties has been hitting grand slams, and another, hitting pitcher Tom Murphy. The next day, the largest crowd in the American League watched Spencer pinch hit again. This time, the Yanks trailed by 3, 2 on in the ninth. And again, Tom Murphy, a former teammate, on the mound. Would Murphy's law apply 2 days in a row? We'll see. He's set to work. There it goes, deep to right field. But not quite deep enough. Frustration for Spencer. Relief for Murphy. The Yankees lost that one, but haven't lost many with pitchers like ace left-hander Ron Guidry on the mound. Or coming off the mound. That started a doubleheader sweep, gave Guidry his 7th win without a loss this season, and 15 wins in his last 16 decisions. Out in the West, California's Angels have been climbing, hovering around the top. Don Baylor has supplied the power in the Angels' bid to become a Western Division powerhouse. They made their first bid last year when they signed free agents Baylor, Joe Rudy, and this man, Bobby Grich. Grich and Rudy were hurt last year. Rudy is still hurt, but Grich is healthy and only hurting the opposition. This year's big-name free agent is Lyman Bostock, who hasn't produced much. However, manager Dave Garcia's young infield has. Dave Chalk can run and hit, and has found a new home at shortstop. That made room for rookie Carney Lansford at third. In Double-A, only a year ago, he's made quite a transition. So has Ron Jackson, who once played third, but has now settled at first. He's also settled into a groove at the plate, surprising everybody as the #2 hitter in the American League. Young Chris Knapp has also been a success, giving the Angels more pitching depth than they've ever had. And, of course, lefty Frank Tanana is piling up the victories. Should names like Rudy, Bostock, and Ryan pick up, the Angels just might become too hot to handle.
Hi, I'm Ted Williams. It's been a long time since I've been in a Red Sox uniform. been even longer since I've played in an all-star game, but I'll always remember my game-winning homer in 1941. This year's all-star game is on July 11th in San Diego, my hometown. You can help choose the starting lineups for this year's game. Ballots are free at ballparks across the country or retail stores featuring a Gillette All-Star display. Balloting ends July 2nd, so get out and vote.
Herbie, I asked for twin blade Gillette Good News disposable razor. I get a single blade disposable nut at Gillette. Herbie, that one blade can't deliver the close shaves this two blade Good News can.
Great shave, boss.
Of course, and lots of them. Herbie, always get me a Good News disposable. Otherwise, we make Herbie's job disposable.
Gillette Good News. It's one blade better.
In the National League East, experts picked the Philadelphia Phillies to finish first, but in Chicago, fans have a different viewpoint. Whether watching from rooftops, treetops, or jam-packed stands in beautiful Wrigley Field, Cub fans believe this year will be different. These days, all the Cubs have to do is take the field to get a standing ovation. Figures. After all, the Cubs moved into first place thanks to a recent 8-game winning streak. Wherever the Cubs turned, they turned in the right direction, the wrong direction for Philadelphia. When the Phils came to Wrigley Field, even Cub near misses became great plays. The Cubs don't have a lot of superstars, but the hometown favorites are often treated like kings for the day. Manny Trio got the treatment in extra innings of one game against the Phils. There it goes, the crowning moment of another perfect day at Wrigley. It was only Trio's first homer of the season, but no matter. All hail the man of the hour. Reichel is still the king of the hill at Wrigley Field. He beat the Phillies in another big game with relief assistance from Bruce Sutter, the Baron of the bullpen. That gave the Cubs a 3-game sweep over Philadelphia. And winning ways continued in St. Louis, where they swept the Cardinals. Ivan DeJesus up, extra innings again. This triple brought up Bill Buckner, Chicago's top hitter. To be a hero, you don't have to hit 'em far, just hit 'em to the right place at the right time, and that's just what the Cubs have done. The New York Mets have been another surprise team in the East this year. Manager Joe Torre kept shuffling the lineup, and now the Mets are looking up. Willie Montanez's RBI production shot straight up while the Mets moved up in the standings. Mazzilli's hitting has also gone straight up, but he won't say how high he can go.
Well, I hate to set goals for myself because then you feel like you're content with what you have. And in this game, you can't be content. You have to go on for more. I'm just looking for a good year. You know, it's hard to say numbers-wise, but team-wise, I'm looking for a good year. I hope we can get up there and show a lot of people what kind of team we do have.
What Mazzilli's 300 average and the Mets' spirited play have shown is that other teams better not take them too lightly. The Mets have plenty of pluck. In their first 23 victories, they've come from behind 15 times. Or as their manager said, when they rock the boat, they don't go overboard. All this despite an early season slump that saw the Mets drop 13 out of 15. But during their recent streak, the Mets proved they can get the runs home. And Nino Espinosa has proved that their old trademark, good pitching, has not disappeared completely. The young right-hander has won 4 in a row. They're not the miracle Mets yet, but a little bit of that old Mets magic is starting to come back. In San Francisco, baseball excitement has come back to the lovely terrain of Candlestick Park, and so has a large and boisterous flock of Giant fans. Best of all, that grand old Dodger-Giant rivalry has resurfaced. When the two teams met at Candlestick, Willie McCovey settled the first game with his still powerful bat, driving in run after run. San Francisco won the first game 6-1. McCovey accounting for all 6 runs. The Dodgers countered with a victory the next day, and then the largest crowd in San Francisco history turned out for the decisive battle of the series. The Giants got off to a slow start as the Dodgers jumped to a 3-0 lead. But the Giants' afternoon was far from over. Some great defensive play kept them in the game. Larry Herndon in center field. Terry Whitfield brought his team to life with his hot hitting. And aggressive base running. But the Giants were still trailing late in the game when pinch hitter Mike Ivy stepped up with the bases loaded. There's a drive going to deep left field, going, and it is gone. A grand slammer that had Candlestick Park burning at all ends. The fans go wild, and so did Mike Ivy and his Giant teammates. The Giants stayed right on top of the Western Division. The Cincinnati Reds and Los Angeles Dodgers will have to watch out. The Giants are sky high, and man, they just love the weather up there.
Ferguson! Sarge? Do you have a Gillette Track 2 blade I could borrow?
Got an injector, it shaves clothes.
No! Track 2 shaves me closer than any single blade. Closer!
My razor, Sarge?
Track 2 is more comfortable than old Ironsides.
The twin blade Gillette Track 2 does shave you closer with less irritation than any single blade.
2-day pass for anybody with a Track 2.
To guys who use Gillette Track 2, no single blade will do.
gentlemen, and children of all ages. You guessed it, the circus is in town. Fun at the ballpark for everybody. Beginning with that traditional first pitch on opening day, it goes on all summer long. The greatest show on earth. See for yourself. Any fan who enters this ballpark big top will not be disappointed. The carnival atmosphere is guaranteed to overflow, and it's not hard to find what you're looking for. Ice cream, perhaps? Popcorn, peanuts, pennants. And how about a refreshing drink? Or even a haircut? How about that? Of course, everyone comes for entertainment, but baseball fans are famed for providing their own. Presenting the greatest sideshow on earth, right in the stands. Catch a foul ball and then ham it up for the camera. These stands have some odd-looking characters. And acts of dexterity and ingenuity. In the net. Of course, there's also no end to the many feats performed by the ball players. A favorite one is juggling. Alphonse and Gaston, or something like that. Even tumbling acts. And the disappearing trick. A round of applause, if you will. Now on to the main attraction. Those daring young men on the baseball diamond. Defensive newsmakers of the day. Particularly daring are those who challenge the sharpshooters. A Wild West shootout at home. When it comes to marksmanship, few can fire like Ellis Valentine of Montreal. Watch him boom this baseball right out of a cannon. Out at home, Valentine's arm is a marvel to behold. Watch this throw. Out again, and out of this world is how you describe plays like these. Seattle's Bill Stein. Now watch out for Montreal's Warren Cromartie. Purely spectacular. But if you want to see a real circus catch, check this finale. Orioles center fielder Larry Harlow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the music's over. But that catch deserves an encore. Man alive. And before the curtain falls, here's Jim Palmer, this week's recipient of the Gillette Special. The Baltimore right-hander pitched his 47th and 48th career shutouts, recorded his 200th Major League victory, putting him in a class with only 5 other active pitchers. Congratulations, Jim. And that's it for now, friends. Hope to see you next week on This Week in Baseball.
Fee paid and promotional consideration provided by Chinook. The Chinook Futura, tomorrow's motorhome today. Advanced engineering and innovative styling make this a unique motorhome. Futura by Chinook. Rough It, the first really new wall finish in 1,000 years. Now you can create deep textures like a professional with Rough It by Z-Brick. And Berkline. Berkline's exclusive new wall-away recliner makes room arrangements easier with back only 3 inches from the wall, whether upright or fully reclining. Don't just recline, Berkline.